thanks for the speedy turnaround since Saturday, and thanks for joining us in Sheffield with Jess and Sarina. And Anton, we'll begin with you.
Morning, Jess. Morning, Sarina.
Morning.
Sarina, your team was in action less than 48 hours ago, so how is the squad going into the Switzerland game?
Yeah, overall the squad is good. Unfortunately, we have 2 injuries. Chloe Kelly and Frank Kirby. They will not be available. So we have 23 players that are available. One session to go.
Both players came off the bench. Is this precautionary, or is this something they picked up during the game? Or
yeah, unfortunately, they picked up during the game. So Chloe is into the concussion protocol. She had that knock, and unfortunately, Fran picked up a calf injury.
Okay. How much, with the game sort of such a tight turnaround, how much are you looking to rotate and see different options tomorrow?
Much. We'll rotate a lot. We'll change.
So in that case, if you're going to see players that maybe haven't had as much game time, in this sort of cycle, how important is this game for selecting your 23 players that will go to Switzerland?
Yeah, it's another moment. As we have said all the time, we play 4 friendlies in this period, October, November. It gives opportunities for us to try out things, to play many players. So absolutely, we need this game too to try out these things. I think we are awake already. And well, thank you. So yes, absolute opportunity, and we still have like seven months to go. But yes, we want to get as much information as possible and develop our style of play and see experience where we are at the moment.
I chatted to Leah Williamson after the game on Saturday, and she said these camps, the players have been made to feel uncomfortable. Is that what you wanted in these camps?
Yeah, that's well, that's what you need at moments. You want at the end, before we go into tournament, you want clarity, and everyone knows her role, which we know in top sport can change very quickly. But now you're trying out things. Now you want everyone to compete at the highest level, compete against opponents, but also compete with each other. That's what you need to become better, and that's uncomfortable. And also trying out things. Those are new things, and of course we're not going to get everything right, but we're learning, and it gives us information.
Jess, how are you finding being uncomfortable on the bigger stage?
To be honest, I kind of like the feeling. I enjoy it. It's the only way that you learn. It's the only way that you find out what you need to work on. So yeah.
Do you feel like an international regular yet?
I feel like I'm getting there. I'm really getting comfortable in the environment, as in like with my teammates and coming onto the pitch and being on the pitch. So yeah, I feel like it's really progressing.
But I suppose you've got nothing but constant sort of battles against your teammates internally for the next, as Sarina saying, sort of 7 months to try to prove that obviously not just that you should be in the 23, but as you were on Saturday night in that starting lineup.
Yeah, of course. I think that's the best way a team needs to be, though. If there's not competition, it's never going to bring out the best in you, and I think that's the important thing. So.
Thanks, Anton. We'll take questions from the floor. We'll go to Katie.
Good to see you both. Sarina, I'll come to you first. Jess is part of this exciting group of young players. Grace Clinton is also a name on that list. How impressed have you been with her since she's come into this England lineup?
With Jess or with Grace?
Grace, please, first.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I'm excited. We have many talented players. I think it also shows our pathway. So players, of course, develop at club first, but go into the under-23s. Some skip that, but go into that, and we really aligned, get similar things in our general style of play. So it's really good to see. And of course, what we want is consistency. And what I talk with Grace about a lot is that she needs to stay switched on at all times.
What else does she need to work on to be part of the starting 11?
Yeah, of course she's tight on the ball. What she showed also that she can come in the box. I think defensively the understanding needs to be improved, and the consistency, I think, and what I just said, this be switched on and just know what the bigger picture is than only her own task.
And Jess, you're part of this exciting new generation coming through. What's it like being part of these youngsters coming through? Because it's a really exciting and bright future for you all.
Definitely exciting. I'd say It's nice to be around like a lot of the younger girls that I know as well, like I've grown up with, I've played with before, so that's really nice to have them in and around camp, and you know, they kind of look to me to help them out now as well, so yeah, that's really nice.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Katie. We'll go to Kit. Thank you.
Hi, Sarina. Hi, Jess. Sarina, obviously there were a lot of positives that we talked about from the game on Saturday, especially defensively, but going forward, is there anything in particular which you'd like to see from your team tomorrow that we maybe didn't see so much of on Saturday?
Yeah, I think, of course, we took a lot of learnings from Saturday. I think tomorrow will be a different game with different challenges. I do expect, first of all, that Switzerland will play in another shape. And what we have seen from them, that they drop deeper, quicker a little bit. So we expect to have the ball more. Of course, from the USA game, we had, I think, the second half, about 20 minutes, the momentum that we kept the ball. We want to get those minutes longer, that we dominate, not 20 minutes, or that go to, well, the ideal world is 90 minutes. But with those big occasions, that's hard. But get more out of that. And at some moments, I think we defended really well as a team. But can we win the ball at moments a little higher on the pitch? That's something that we would like to do too.
And we obviously still have the Nations League to come before the Euros next summer, but is tomorrow almost your last chance to truly experiment with this England team before the Euros?
Yeah, it's finding balance, I think. So yes, it's truly a moment to experiment. The Nations League, of course, you go out there to play and win, but also playing games is developing anyway, but will balance more to, of course, winning those games.
Aggie Beaver-Jones, I think, was the only forward who didn't get any minutes on Saturday. What more would you like to see from her to maybe make an even stronger case for minutes for you?
Yeah, I think it's also dependent, of course, what the game asks and what we think we need. If we make a sub, we sub to win, and we think, okay, what do we think we need at this moment? And that's how we sub. I think she's really underway. She's really learning, working really hard. Yeah, and I think what she gets moments at Chelsea, so she's coming into this environment, and what we ask from her, just show consistency, and wait for your moment.
And just with Chloe, did you say it was a concussion?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like England have had quite a few of those, or England players have had this season. I think Leah, Lotta, Maya Letizier. Is that just a coincidence, or is that something you're concerned about, that injury seems to be happening a lot?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I don't know. It's absolutely a coincidence. We had 4, so the clubs had to miss them too. Yeah, I don't see a real relationship in the cause of these concussions, to be honest. Something that I have to ask probably the medical staff if we do some research on that.
Hi, Jess. Similar question to one I just asked your manager. In attack, where can England improve? Where do you think England can get better?
Yeah, I think, sustaining the attacks for a bit longer and, creating them really clear-cut chances will be a really massive part in our development, and I think that's something that we need to focus on.
And you've obviously played in a fair few games now, both for club and for country, but what's distinct, what's unique about playing for England in terms of a big game?
I think physically, it's very unique. I don't think you can match it, and I think also like the tempo, the way that you have to think, how quick. There's similar times that I felt it at City, but this is all game long. So.
Let's go to Tom.
Thank you. Good morning, Jess. Good morning, Sarina. Sarina, we spoke, I think, a few days ago to Ruby Mace and Laura Brinkilda-Brown on the press conference. I was wondering, are they ready for senior debuts tomorrow?
Oh, I think they're ready. Yeah, they've come into the environment. They have done well in training sessions, working really hard. And of course, they have done also well what we said earlier in the under-23s. So the players just promised me they'll all be ready to play. And they don't just come here to just be training player. They are ready.
Yeah, and sorry to hear the news about Chloe and Fran's injuries. I guess, is that particularly disappointing because this was a game when they were probably going to have a real chance?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very disappointing.
Yeah. And
for them, first of all, for them, for us too, and yeah, of course for the clubs too, that they're not available next weekend.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of forwards and wingers in particular. Is it fair to say that against the USA in the first half, your wingers were deliberately quite deep, a little bit more defensive, and is that something we'll see change now against Switzerland, who are more attacking, or do those injuries impact on those plans at all?
No, I hope we'll make some tweaks, but we hope to get a bit higher on the pitch tomorrow, and hopefully win the ball back a little higher. Yeah.
And just one last question.
If we don't have the ball, of course.
Sure. Again, Switzerland in particular, I'm just curious what you make of them. Of the pot 1 seeds in the Euros draw, they're the lowest ranked, so a lot of people sort of thinking, we've got to avoid, we want to be in their group, but are we underestimating them? Are they stronger than people think based on world ranking?
Yeah, I think definitely you should not underestimate them. I think what we've seen, like in October, they did really well. They played Australia, they played France, they beat France, they tied Australia, they played Germany now. Don't forget they had many injuries and from starting players and players that are really like the leaders in their team. So that's what they've been struggling a bit with. And I also, what you saw from the game from them Friday, is that Germany struggled to break through, and they scored late in the first half, while before that Switzerland had an opportunity to score already. So I don't think we should underestimate anyone, but in particular we play tomorrow Switzerland, we don't underestimate them.
Thank you. Good luck.
We'll go to Catherine at the front.
Hi, just a question for Jess. You grew up not too far away from Sheffield in a different part of Yorkshire. Is there a strong contingent of your family and friends coming to the game tomorrow?
There's my mum and dad. My mum and dad always come, but that's about it. I'm technically a Manc now, if I can say that.
I'm not sure I can have that as a fellow someone from Yorkshire, but just over 2 years ago since you made your England debut, obviously you ended up coming on and scoring, I think, with your first touch. How much do you think you've grown as a player, both on and on the pitch, since then?
Massively. Yeah, I think, I've learned a lot from playing at club level, and obviously I've had a lot more experiences now internationally as well. So I'd say on the pitch, definitely, I think there's a lot more to think about, and I'm definitely doing the work. And I think off the pitch, I've definitely kind of become more into myself and a bit more confident. So yeah.
Thanks, Catherine. We'll take a question at the back. Thank you.
Hi, Sarina here. We talk about new generation for England, but it also has been new generation for the Swiss team since last time you played them in 2022. With that new project with Pia Sundhage, how much do you think Switzerland has improved since last time you played them in 2022?
Yeah, I find that a hard question to answer, because we've seen them now a couple of times. I think at that moment they were good too. They had changed. I think Pia just brought something different. They play a little different in a different style, and they're really, it's a structured team. They're tough to beat. It's very well organized, and of course they want to go up front too. So I think mainly a big difference is also that it's very well organized. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, they've got a lot of injured players, notably Naomi Luye, who's been doing really well. I don't know how much of a threat she could have been if she was there.
Yeah, that's hard to say when she's not available, is it? So yeah, I hope she'll be back soon, that she can show. But yeah, she's not there, pointing any attention on that.
Thank you.
We'll just take a question just in front. Lovely, thanks.
Hi there, I'm Calvin from Swiss Television. A question for Sarina. Now you're meeting Pia Sundhage. She's a couple of years around already in the game. Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you have maybe a special relationship or memory when it comes to her?
Well, we've played each other a lot. Well, special memory for me, like when I was a young player. She's a little older than I'm not the youngest, but she's a little older than I am. No, we just had to go out. She was the best players of Sweden at that time, and we were all really looking up to her. And I think this is about 30 years ago. No, I think even longer. So that was my first experience with her as a player. She's really good, and of course she has gone basically all over the world to coach. And she's so positive. She's creative. And made a difference in the women's game. So yes, I have a lot of respect for her.
Did you have a shirt of her?
No, I don't have a shirt of her.
Okay.
At that time when I played, we were never allowed to keep the shirt, so things changed a lot too, right?
Well.
Otherwise we didn't have kits anymore.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll just go across. We've got two questions, so one there and then.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sarina from Swiss Television as well. And we've mentioned, like, Switzerland has a lot of injuries. Our key player and captain Lia Welti is injured. What do you think? What's the difference, Switzerland with Lia Welti on the pitch and without? How big is the difference?
Yeah, I think mainly the combination of missing a lot more players that makes it a bit hard for them. But she's a leader. She's in the middle of the pitch. She has a huge game understanding. I think she was in a very good form too, because we watch her a lot because she plays for Arsenal. So yeah, that's a big miss. I don't think if a team is too dependent on one player, then there's work to do too. But I think a combination of more players missing, that's a struggle. But at the same time, for every team, when there's some injuries, there's opportunities for other players to show, and at the end, they will take that opportunity too to get ready for the Euros next summer.
Thank you. Final question at the back.
Thank you. Hi, Jess and Sarina. Jess, I know you talked to you're a Manc, adopted Manc now, but as the Yorkshire Post, I just wondered how special it's going to be for you to represent your country in a ground so close to where you grew up and learnt the game.
Yeah, it's going to be really special. I love being back here. It's nice, you know, familiar. So yeah, I'm going to really enjoy this one.
And for the girls growing up, how important is it for international games to be taken around the country to grounds like Bramall Lane?
Yeah, so important. You know, easier access for everybody if they're all over the country. So. And
Sarina, if Laura Blinkheider-Brown gets the nod tomorrow for a international debut at any stage at Bramall Lane, near where she grew up, what would your advice be to her? Because it's an enormous occasion as it is, but doing it on her own doorstep.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll take one final question from Swiss TV.
Yes, hi, I'm Dania from Swiss TV. So England hosted the last European Championships, Switzerland the next one. So that's why we wonder how the home European Championship has changed the women's football in England. So can you describe the boom the European Championship has triggered?
I can actually describe it from two countries. I think 2017 was the Netherlands. Then now it was England. Switzerland. It really brings so much excitement in the country, and is an absolute opportunity to give a boost to the development of the game. And you already saw that last Friday. They broke a record with a friendly, which was 17,000, which is very exciting in November. So when you go into the Nations League in spring, I think the crowd in Switzerland will increase again. And the team has the opportunity to show where they're at in the women's game and how good they are. That's what I hope. That's what they probably can try to do, and it's so exciting.
Great. Thanks everyone for your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.